What is happening, everybody? I hope you guys are all having a happy Friday. Today I'll be discussing 5 things that you should never do if you ski at Beaver Creek. I'll be discussing common mistakes people often make when visiting Beaver Creek, including myself, as I am not perfect either. The purpose of these 5 tips are just some advice to help you have a more enjoyable day at Beaver Creek. Anyway, with that being said, let's get into the advice. Starting with number 5. Never overestimate the snow resiliency of Beaver Creek. Beaver Creek can be a very fun ski resort to ski on a powder day, especially after the long trek across I-70. It can be very rewarding to ski fresh powder with minimal lift lines. Unfortunately, just like every other resort, it does come with drawbacks. Beaver Creek typically gets less snow than its neighboring ski resorts, such as Vail, for example. Despite it only being a 15-minute drive away from Vail, a lot of times they might only get half the snowfall Vail gets. Moving on from there being less snowfall at Beaver Creek, Colorado gets a lot of sunshine, and Beaver Creek is no exception to that, as well as the fact Beaver Creek mostly faces east. With that being said, oftentimes you can have a week of 50-degree weather, of snow slushing up and refreezing, and then if it only snows 3 inches after that, you're most likely skiing on an asphalt road that has just been plowed 5 minutes ago. This is typical for all Colorado ski resorts, but it seems like Beaver Creek has this issue more so than other ski resorts. So next time you plan this trip to Beaver Creek, not only look at the forecast, but also go on the resort's website and see how many inches of snowfall they got. Moving on to number 4, never ski the World Cup downhill ski course. This ski course starts from the top of the Cinch Express and runs down the Golden Eagle Run right next to the Birds of Prey lift. What is unique about this run is Beaver Creek injects water onto the surface of the run to create ice, which makes it slick so the racers can ski down the run at top speed. This run also faces west, so anytime the sun is out, the run will get cooked up to slush and then freezes up to a crisp overnight. Keep in mind, some of the runs off the Grouse Mountain Express, such as Screech Owl, funnel into the World Cup downhill ski course. So I recommend traversing through trees or branching off to another run before getting to the bottom to avoid that run out. Unless you want to spend a shitload of time sliding downhill on your ass like on a baggage claim at DIA, I would highly advise staying away from the Birds of Prey pod. Moving on to number 3, never ski in an area that is above or below your level. Beaver Creek is nicely separated into zones, so please obey those so-called zones, as it will make your time and other skiers around you time much more enjoyable. If you're a beginner skier, you should stay in the Red Buffalo Pod or the McCoy Park. If you're an intermediate skier, Strawberry Park, Elkhorn, or Arrowbahn would probably be your area. If you're an advanced/expert skier, like probably most of us are here, hence why you're watching a sub 100 subscriber channel give you advice on skiing. Grouse and Rose Bowl would be your focus areas if you're an advanced/expert skier. Larkspur and Birds of Prey are decent options as well, and maybe Strawberry Park. Otherwise, if you're an expert skier, I wouldn't touch anything on the west side of the mountain with a 10-foot pole, let alone your ski pole. And going on back to the skiing above your abilities, it really should go without saying to never ski above your abilities, which people still do anyway, which I guess shows how common sense is now just nothing but a thing of the past. But I digress. Now we covered that you should never ski above your ability, but at Beaver Creek you should not go to areas that are too easy for you. It is very easy to do that at Beaver Creek when half the mountains is exclusively greens and blues. If you're an expert skier on the green runs at McCoy Park, it will either be a dodgeball game with beginner skiers or you will be going painfully slow on flat runs. Let's put it this way. People skiing above their ability have the potential to get hurt or hurt someone else. People skiing in areas that are below their level will be weaving their way through like it's rush hour traffic on I-25. And the number 2 thing that you should never do at Beaver Creek is never go up without a plan to get back to your base area. Beaver Creek has 4 different base areas, and if you end up at the wrong one, yes, there's a bus you could take, but you probably don't want to take it. Funny story, last visit I made to Beaver Creek, I took the bus from the bottom of the gondola to the main Beaver Creek base, and no joke, somebody threw up in the back of the bus. I was on a crowded bus, standing, and it smelled like vomit the entire way. Yeah, that is the Beaver Creek bus experience in a nutshell. It is important to know when the lifts close so you don't end up being stranded at a base you don't belong at, and you will not have a disgusting story to tell people like I just told you. And the number 1 thing that you should never do at Beaver Creek is never ski unofficial glades. Yes, Beaver Creek can have some pretty good tree skiing, but however, they also have a lot of bad tree skiing as well. If the trees are not an official run that is either marked by a sign or on the trail map, it probably isn't worth it to do them. One example of this is the trees between Ripsaw and Webb off of the Rose Bowl Express lift. The lines in those trees could get very dense and have a lot of fallen over logs to duck and jump. Another example of trees that are not worth it are the trees east of Screech Owl that are more towards the bottom. Those trees are dense and typically have poor snow quality. Some tree runs I would suggest are Royal Elk Glade off of the Grouse and Keller Glade off of Rose Bowl. Those trees are nicely spaced, and even if the snow conditions aren't ideal, you won't hate yourself whilst trying to get down them. Well, that will do it for this video. I hope this was helpful to you, or I hope you enjoyed or related to it. Hopefully these 5 tips will help your ski day be far more enjoyable. It is always the little things that can make or break your ski day. Have fun on the slopes and stay safe. Please leave your feedback down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.